Welcome to the fascinating story of the gladiators. In the heart of ancient Rome, the thunderous roar of the Colosseum echoed through the ages. Thousands of spectators, from emperors to common citizens, gathered to witness blood-soaked spectacles of bravery, skill, and death. At the center of these events stood the gladiator, revered as entertainers, feared as warriors, and immortalized as a reflection of Roman society's complexities. The roots of gladiatorial combat can be traced back to early funeral rites in ancient Italy. Known as munera, these rituals honored the dead, with combat between enslaved individuals or prisoners of war intended to appease the spirits of the deceased. Over time, these modest rituals evolved into grand public spectacles under the Roman Republic. By the 1st century BCE, gladiatorial games, or ludi, had transformed into state-sponsored entertainment. Politicians and emperors hosted these events to win public favor, showcasing their wealth and power. What began as a solemn religious rite became a potent tool of propaganda and mass distraction. Gladiators were no ordinary soldiers. They lived under strict regimens, training tirelessly in specialized schools called ludi. While many gladiators were enslaved people, prisoners of war, or criminals sentenced to the arena, some voluntarily embraced the life, lured by promises of fame, wealth, or, in rare cases, freedom. The most renowned training school was the Ludus Magnus, located near the Colosseum. Here, seasoned instructors, known as doctores, prepared gladiators for combat, categorizing them into distinct fighting styles, each defined by unique armor and weapons. Mirmillo fought with a gladius and a large rectangular shield resembling a Roman soldier. Thraex wielded a curved sword and a small shield. Retiarius armed with a trident and net, relying on speed and agility. Secutor wore smooth helmets and carried large shields, specifically designed to counter the Retiaris. Training was grueling, and life in the gladiator barracks was harsh, yet the rewards could be remarkable. Successful gladiators achieved celebrity status, inspiring fans to chant their names and even commission artwork in their honor. The games were carefully orchestrated spectacles. They began with elaborate parades and ceremonies as gladiators marched into the arena, displaying their armor and weapons to triumphant music. The events featured a variety of entertainments, including wild animal hunts, public executions, and reenactments of historic battles. The highlight, however, was gladiatorial combat. Contrary to popular belief, not every fight ended in death. Gladiators were valuable investments for their owners, and most battles showcased skill and bravery rather than fatalities. Still, the bloodshed was real, and the stakes were high. The crowd often played a decisive role in the outcome. If a gladiator was defeated, the audience, or sometimes the emperor, could determine their fate. A thumbs-up gesture often signaled mercy, while a thumbs-down condemned the fighter to death. Gladiators occupied a paradoxical role in Roman society. While they were social outcasts, enslaved individuals or criminals stripped of dignity, they were simultaneously celebrated as heroes, admired for their courage and skill. Some even attracted wealthy patrons or romantic admirers, their exploits immortalized in poems, mosaics, and sculptures. The games served as more than mere entertainment. They were instruments of social control, distracting the masses and reinforcing the authority of the state. Lavish games hosted by emperors like Julius Caesar and Augustus demonstrated Rome's dominance and kept the public loyal. By the 5th century CE, the golden age of gladiatorial games had ended. The rise of Christianity, with its emphasis on compassion and the sanctity of life, fueled growing opposition to the brutal spectacles. In 404 CE, Emperor Honorius officially banned gladiatorial combat, marking the close of an era. Though the games have long disappeared, the legacy of gladiators endures. They remain symbols of resilience and courage, celebrated in art, literature, and film. The Colosseum, a masterpiece of Roman architecture, stands as a testament to their story. Gladiators transcended the role of mere warriors, becoming vivid symbols of an empire's splendor and savagery. Their lives, often short and harsh, mirrored the contradictions of Roman civilization, a society where glory and savagery intertwined. Through their battles and sacrifices, gladiators carved an indelible legacy into history, a poignant reminder of the spectacle that defined an epoch.